Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode. And on this episode of correcting conception and misconceptions about health, negative, negative conception and misconceptions about health. Now, on this episode, we are going to continue from where we ended the last video. The last video I said we talked about diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and we talked about what they mean. We said it is a disease that affects the heart and the vessels of the heart, and we talked about two types, which is coronary artery disease (CAD) and hypertension. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped, and today's episode we are going to be talking about heart failure. The first one we're going to talk about today is heart failure. What does it mean by when we say heart failure? Heart failure is when the heart is unable to pump blood efficiently to meet up the body's demand. Yeah. When the heart is not able to pump enough blood that the body needs, that is heart failure. Because some people, when they hear heart failure, they feel like your heart has stopped working. That is people's notion, people's belief about heart failure. That is not what heart failure means. Heart failure does not mean that your heart has stopped working. If your heart stopped working, you will not be working. So you will not be alive if your heart stopped working automatically. So when we talk about heart failure, we mean that that heart now has reduced its efficiency, has reduced its activity. If the heart used to pump 1 liter of blood, it has reduced to even less than 200 milliliter of blood. But let me use a very nice example. Like if they say the heart used to pump 5 liters of blood, your heart is now pumping about 1.5 or even 1 liter. Look at the difference from 5 to 1 or 1.5. You will see that it will not meet up the whole body's demand. It will take time before it will meet up the body's demand. That is what we call heart failure. And diseases that can cause heart failure are diseases like that, what I earlier said, coronary artery disease, hypertension can cause it, or previous heart attack. If you have had previous heart attack, it can cause heart failure. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of heart failure? We see shortness of breath, fatigue, swelling on the legs, rapid and irregular heartbeats, palpitation. Your heart is beating faster than normal. That one is even called, we call it arrhythmia. It's one of the things we are going to talk about because that one on its own is another heart problem on its own. But it's also a sign that you have heart failure or difficulty in performing physical activity. Maybe you're somebody who used to walk for a long time without getting tired. Now you can just walk from here to here and you're tired. You can't move again. You can't do anything again. In that case, start suspecting. When you start seeing that you don't breathe well the way you used to breathe, your activity level, the way you can walk, the way you can climb steps, you cannot even climb like 2 or 3 steps without resting for a while, and you notice your legs are swollen. It is associated with all this one because another sickness or another disease that can cause your leg to be swollen is kidney failure. But kidney failure is not associated with all these other ones I'm talking about. When you have association of all these other ones together with your leg swollen, start suspecting that that person has heart failure. The next one, as I earlier told you when I was explaining heart failure, which I said abnormal heartbeat, which is arrhythmia. That is the one we are going to talk about now. Arrhythmia is abnormal heart rhythm caused by irregular electrical impulses in the heart. Electrical impulses, these are signals the heart is sending. The signal sent by the body, signal sent by the brain is called electrical impulses in the body. So when now the electrical impulses sent is fired too much at irregular speed, that is called arrhythmia. And it will now cause the rhythm at which your heart is beating. Your heart is supposed to be beating love, dub, love, dub. But the person's heart is not love, dub, like fast, 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 fast. In that case, that person has arrhythmia. And they can be harmless or life they can be harmless or life threatening depending on the type and the severity of this palpitation. It can be harmless. Harmless in the case whereby if you do an exercise, if you happen to if you're someone who does exercise, once you do exercise, you notice your heartbeat increase, the rhythm increase. And in that case, is harmless. But it will be harmful in the case whereby you do not even do exercise, just for you to walk from here to here. You are breathing as if you ran one mountain. And when somebody is asking, ah, what's going on? You just move from here to here. In that case, it's life threatening. And the signs and symptoms is palpitations, dizziness, fainting. You'll be having that feeling of fainting when you walk for a while. You'll be feeling as if you want to faint. You'll be having shortness of breath, angina, chest pain, or sudden cardiac arrest, like sudden cardiac cessation of cardiac function. Sudden cessation of cardiac function. That is what we call cardiac arrest. Now, the last one I want to talk about for today is stroke. When we say stroke, what does stroke really mean? Stroke occurs when the blood supplying, the vessel supplying blood to part of the brain is interrupted or reduced, or deprive brain tissue of oxygen and nutrients. Now, when we talk about stroke, it means that there's not enough blood supply to the brain. It's actually the brain that is affected when someone has stroke. That means that part, that vessel supplying blood from the heart to the brain, either the blood vessel has issue and the blood has stopped being supplied to that part of the brain, or the blood vessel is no more supplying enough blood to that brain. Now, when the left side, or rather the right side of your brain, is not enough blood supply to the right side of your brain, that is when you have left part of your body is affected. You have the left side affected. Likewise, when the left part of your brain is affected, the right part of your body is what will be affected. So when you have stroke, either on the left or the right side of your body, just know that it is the opposite part of the brain. If it's the right side of your body you have issue, just know that it's the left part of your brain that is affected. And when you have stroke on the left part of your body, just know that it is the right part of your brain that has been affected. And this can occur due to blockage of the artery, ischemic stroke. In that case, we call it ischemic stroke, or a blood, a a burst in blood vessel, a vessel of your the blood, vessel supplying the brain burst, maybe because of too much blood flow. In this kind of case, what people who used to suffer this are people who really have high blood pressure, are the ones who used to suffer this second one. High blood pressure people used to mostly suffer this one when the blood is pumping with high pressure because of that burst a vessel in the brain. When a blood vessel in the brain has been burst, in that case we call it hemorrhagic shock or hemorrhagic stroke rather. And the signs and symptoms is sudden numbness or weakness, especially on one side of the body, confusion, trouble speaking, difficulty seeing, loss of balance, and severe headache. These are the signs and symptoms of stroke. For this episode, we'll end it here because I wouldn't want it to be so long. I want to take it small, small so that we gradually understand and assimilate it. So that when we start seeing some kind of things happening to us, we will quickly rush for medical attention. Because some people used to have some kind of issues and they want to manage it by themselves. They want to feel like I can manage it. And I can do this, I can do that to really manage. I'm trying to manage myself. Please, it's not all health condition you manage. Most health condition, when you notice some kind of health condition, especially these cardiovascular diseases, this one kill people very fast. Cardiovascular diseases kill people like this in a twinkle of an eye. It doesn't mess. This is why I decided to create awareness, because this is the number one killer disease in the world. I'm not talking about Nigeria, I'm not talking about Africa, I mean in the world in general. So we really have to be aware of cardiovascular diseases. Till I come your way, take care of your health and stay healthy. I love you.